Haim is the kind of guy to sharpen his Apple Pencil, and I'm the kind of guy who's trying to understand this joke. Diego gets a 10 out of 10 on his editing, and we clearly know who chose the script this week. If you're reading this, have a great day because you're watching a Jaime Rivera video. My God, thank you guys so much for the support. That's right, it's that time of the week. I am Jaime Rivera, this is Pocketnow, and this is the Pocketnow Daily Recap, your comments for last week. So on Monday, the topic was a rumor of a possible Samsung Galaxy S10X, which we heard will have something crazy like 12 gigs of RAM, and now we're even hearing as of this week, 1 terabyte of storage, possibly. I asked you how much would you be willing to pay? We had 401 comments. Would never pay $1,000 for any phone, even if it had 1 terabyte of storage and 30 gigs of RAM. Just wait a few months and then it'll be cheaper. Apply that to pretty much anything new in life. Just wait and buy it cheaper later. Guilty as charged. I do that with Nintendo games. I wait it out because seriously, it's just, there are certain things that are just too expensive, and I consider that for phones particularly. But then you've got brands who do not ever discount their products or will give you a $50 discount, like Apple, for example. Consumers need to show that they're fed up and stop paying over $1,000. Don't let companies control your wallet. Yes, Sean, you have got the point right there. I am so happy. I have to be honest. I'm happy with what's happening with the decline in sales from Apple. Not because I'm happy that it's happening to Apple. It's just, wow, $1,000 for a phone. People went crazy over the iPhone X, and then they bought it and they realized, wow, I paid so much money for a phone that's not worth upgrading the next year. And that's exactly what happened. I'm not in the market for a Samsung phone, but those specs I would pay $800. For the normal variant, I wouldn't pay over $650. Phones are not worth the price they're asking now. Exactly, I feel that $650 was the sweet spot, like $200 plus a 2-year contract or $650. That was fine. That was like, okay, it's not a computer. A tablet obviously doesn't have all the functionalities, so fine. $650, that's okay, but not more than that. Doesn't matter how much storage. Then on Tuesday, the topic was the Infinity O Display and some patents that would allow it extra functionality, like that ring notification light around the camera. I asked you what you thought about that. We had 351 comments. Notification light circle is a great idea. It would look cool when you get a halo circle flashing on the black OLED. Exactly, I feel that it's a cool idea. I hope that it actually does happen. I don't think I need a notification light. I'd rather the hole to be as small as possible. True, I just don't think that that's possible, and so what they're doing is actually just figuring out a way to do something with those pixels, so I'm glad that they're coming out with a neat solution. If Samsung has figured out a way to display icons in the Infinity O cutout, why not use that space to fill the screen when displaying pictures or video? Dude, these are pixels. They could use whatever they want those pixels for, so don't think that it's just going to be for that. Then on Wednesday, the topic was LG and rumors. Well, their invitation pretty much says that they're going to show us a new user interface that looks more like air gestures. I asked you, what did you think? We had 289 comments. Maybe LG is bringing the air gestures like that Iron Man movie, if Tony Stark is helping them. Whatever, man. It's just, we've already seen it, it already failed, it's pointless. Gestures done right by LG would be great. They've done it with audio. Why not gestures next? I'm game. You know what the problem with LG is? Things like the camera, for example. Their cameras were great for 2014. And then they remain that way until 2019. So I think that they need to focus on things that consumers actually care about. LG has always been the underdog. Could be interesting to see some innovation from LG. We have seen innovation from the company, starting with photography and just the flexing design, which would auto-heal itself. The company has been in charge of a ton of things, at audio indeed, with the quad DAC, etc. But there are other things that consumers actually care about. Do you even remember manual controls on photography, which I believe was a first on the G4? A lot of these things began with LG. The problem is the company doesn't, take them further. And then Thursday, the topic was the Galaxy S10 again and a possible price tag. The rumors were around $1,600. I asked you what you thought. We had 495 comments. My head snapped back when he said $1,600. Anyone have Tylenol extra strength? Dude, you're gonna need morphine for that. Come on, man. That is the base. That's not even the base price for a MacBook Pro. We need to stop buying expensive phones. They eventually will drop the price. Exactly. I thought that Apple was going to do that. They didn't. I hope Samsung doesn't continue following ship. It doesn't matter what added functionality they provide, it's still a phone. Samsung should learn from what happened to Apple. You know, they should learn from what happened to them with the Galaxy S5. They've already been through this. They priced that phone higher just because it had water resistance and a few other things, air gestures included. People did not care. It sold terribly when compared to the Galaxy S4. So why go back to that? And speaking of gimmicks, on Friday, the whole topic was a possible Powershare feature that might come to the Galaxy S10, as in one of the teasers, and I asked you if you cared, and we had 390 comments. I think the reverse wireless charging feature is okay for smartwatch users on the go, or even some accessories, but phone-to-phone charge is slow, and obviously will drain more battery on the source device, not for me. Oh man, exactly, like I do love the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, but that reverse charging is actually not great. And then again, I hate carrying separate chargers for smartwatches, so yeah, that's actually a good idea. I don't care if it's a gimmick or not, it's still come in handy in some emergency cases. There's always room for improvement, so I am always open for innovations. The problem is when those implementations are not done right. Again, the Mate 20 Pro came up with the idea, but the implementation is not good. In my opinion, these gimmicks are good selling points, but in the end aren't very useful. Another example was Animojis by Apple. Good selling feature and fun to mess around with for the first couple of days, but in the end completely and utterly useless. True that, but again, it was a problem of implementation. Like for example, in the case of Animojis, you could only use them within the Messages app, and you could only record a specific amount at a time. You had to pre-record and then send them. It's just, again, the idea wasn't bad, the implementation was the terrible one, and I feel that that's the same case here. That's it for the Pocketnow Daily Recap. Thank you so much for watching. If you want your comments to be featured, keep them short, stick to the point, and try to get some thumbs up to help us spot them a lot easier. You can also follow us on social media, subscribe to both our channels, English and Spanish, for more videos like this one. You can follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.